Alright, hey, what's going on there, folks? It is Earth Master. It is May 25th, 2018, 5:16 p.m. here, Pacific Standard Time here on the West Coast in the cool, cloudy, and rainy California state there. Unusual for this time of year, no doubt about it, but definitely loving every minute of it out here. Got a few rain showers earlier. And yeah, so other than that, let's take a look at all the earthquake activity and volcanic activity out there around the globe. Still talking about Kilauea volcano there in Hawaii, still showing definitely some signs of spewing lava and earthquake activity in that part of the world. Let's go over here and take a look at the USGS map. This here is a one-day all-magnitude earthquakes here in the United States, and definitely some activity going on out there. Yellowstone up there around Montana, well, just north of Yellowstone, had a 3.0 earthquake. That one did show up on the Yellowstone seismograph stations right here. You can see this spike of an earthquake up here. That's that 3.0 from earlier. Speaking of earthquake activity in Yellowstone National Park, you see a little bit of sporadic spiking indicative of earthquake activity there with the ongoing earthquake swarm in the northwest corner of the park. Nothing intense, nothing to, kind of write home about, just sporadic earthquake activity that we've been seeing for quite some time there in the Yellowstone National Park region. Switching over to the trimmer map. I lost my voice there. Trimmer map here. This here is the last 3 hours only of trimmer, and that's quite a bit of activity just for the last 3 hours. And we're starting to see on a large scale basis here lots of movement here along the Cascadia subduction zone here. You can go back the last 48 hours. This is the last 2 days. And you can see definitely a lot of movement. Now this here is trimmer detection. This here is slow slippage, meaning that we're seeing some movement with the North American plate and the Juan Fuca plate over here. And parts of it, or at least part of it, is subducting at a slow slippage event, a slow slippage rate, I should say. In Northern California, you can see that large cluster down here in Northern California. Also up into Vancouver Island more recently, and not as recent up here in Seattle. We did see a large cluster if we go back more than a couple days ago up in that area. Now what this means here, just kind of picture this whole plate right over here. Okay, you got the North American plate and the Juan Fuca plate over here, part of it underneath here, the subducting part, and these parts are moving. These parts are slowly slipping in that subduction zone area. Okay, that's a good thing, right? But if you notice, there's still a lack of activity up here in Central Oregon. Now what that means is part of the plate is continuing to move, or subduct, I should say. Part of it's not, which is continuing to build up stress in the region. Now, I think you've all known or have heard that when the Cascadia subduction zone does rupture up here, they're looking at right off the Oregon coast for the epicenter, and I believe that because we've always seen a lot of trimmer activity, slippage, slow slippage occurring outside of this region. We have seen some in southern Oregon before, northern Oregon, but we don't see too much here in the Central Oregon region here. Just not a lot of activity. So that's locked. It's continuing to get locked as these other portions continue to dive down, right? So what's going on? We're building strain continuously in that region, and that's terrifying to say the least there. But yeah, just one of the many reasons why I don't visit the Oregon coastline anymore. It's beautiful up there, folks, let me tell you. Beautiful pines, gorgeous beaches. Water is too cold for my liking for jumping in, but it's beautiful. but it's going to be devastated when this thing does decide to blow. Jumping back over here to the Kilauea volcano in Hawaii on the Big Island. Status update, still alert level warning, and the color code is red for the aviation. Real quick, let's read through here. Eruption of lava continues in the area of Leilani Estates. And here it goes with the pronunciations again. I'm not going to go ahead and pronounce these names that I can't pronounce, but you guys could read it right there. Fissure 22 continues to erupt lava that is flowing southeast of the coast and the lava ocean entry. Fountains at Fissure 6 and 13 feed lava into a channel that reached the coast yesterday, forming a second ocean entry. So we're still seeing this is an ongoing thing, folks. I believe this is going to be a long-term duration if we don't see something like give up anytime soon. Volcanic gas emissions remain very high from the fissure eruptions, obviously. Magma continues to be supplied to the lower East Rift Zone. Earthquake activity continues, but earthquake locations have not moved farther down rift in the past few days, and the number of located earthquakes will remain low. Let's take a look at the earthquake activity while we're thinking about it, or while we're reading about it, I should say. Let's take a trip out here into the Pacific Ocean at the beautiful island of Hawaii, which I've never been, but one of these days maybe I will get over there. Now this here is 1 day, all magnitudes, 209, I apologize, earthquakes there, and that's quite a bit of activity. Most of it looks like centered around the crater summit itself. The lower East Rift, the East Rift Zone sits over here on this region. You got the summit buried underneath these multitudes of earthquakes there. You can see the outline of the caldera, I should say, there. So definitely still a lot of earthquake activity occurring. Taking a look at some of these depths of these earthquakes here. Most of them are surface type quakes, very indicative of activity going on at the surface. We're not seeing too much in the way of depth differential, meaning that before we started to see a lot of deep, shallow, and then medium type earthquakes there at many different ranges in the past. Now it looks as though it's pretty much right about at the surface, so to speak, there. So we'll still keep an eye on it, but definitely still a lot of activity there. This goes 7 days at magnitude. That's just 4.5 and above, so nothing too big, nothing major taking place here. Just a couple 4s and 5s. We do want to look at the 7-day magnitude, or the 7-day all magnitudes here, and see how that looks. 606 earthquakes there of all magnitudes. Some, I'm sure, not being accounted for because of just the multitudes that's going on there. It takes the seismologists some time to look at some of the charts and whatnot. But like they mentioned in their update, you can see most of the activity has not moved away from the current area where we've seen in the past, the East Rift Zone and also the caldera section there. No new movement. A couple smaller earthquakes out there away from the island itself. Look at about 10 kilometers there. 13 kilometers for that one. 11 kilometers. So some deep movement out there, just ongoing. Very indicative of continual magma and lava being fed into the this area right here. That's some deep earthquakes there. 13 kilometers there compared to the activity that we're seeing right at the summit there. Let's see what this latest one is. That's pretty deep right there. 28 kilometers there for that 1.8. Anyway, folks, this is a long-term duration for these folks out here in the Big Island. This is not going to go away anytime soon. Like I say, it's an island in the process of building itself. I mean, it's definitely a beautiful thing. There's no doubt. Okay, the island is beautiful, like a tropical paradise, and that's exactly what it is. But at the same time, Mother Nature has plans to make this island bigger, and whether humans like it or not, it's gonna happen. So, you know, we're still looking at possibility of explosive eruptions there at the summit. Nothing big at the moment being predicted, but you never know. It's an ever-changing, ongoing event with this activity at Kilauea volcano. Additional ground cracking and outbreaks of lava in the area of the active fissures are possible, obviously. Residents downslope of the region of fissures should heed all Hawaii County Civil Defense messages and warnings. Here's the summit, Kilauea Volcano Summit summary. An explosion was detected from the summit overlook crater just after 6 p.m. that produced an ash cloud that rose to about 10,000 feet above sea level and carried slightly more ash than most recent explosions. The National Weather Service NEXRAD radar tracked the cloud for 15 to 20 minutes. Moderate trade winds were blowing to the southwest, and light ash fall likely occurred in downwind locations. Earthquakes in the summit area continue at a moderate rate, as does inflation or deflation of the summit region. The earthquakes and ash explosions are occurring as the summit area subsides and adjusts to the withdrawal of magma from the summit. Additional explosive events that could produce minor amounts of ashfall downwind are possible at any time. Volcanic gas emissions at the summit remain high. And that's the latest from the USGS in regards to the current situation there at the Kilauea volcano. Take a look real quick. California, Nevada, most recent earthquake activity showing pretty quiet activity, folks. Nothing out of the ordinary. In fact, if anything, this looks a little bit below normal for the activity that does occur. So, in the meantime, it's building up pressure, no doubt, in a lot of these regions here. Southern San Andreas fault system, pretty quiet. It's this area right down here, pretty mellow. Not a whole lot of activity occurring on that right now. Taking a look at the earthquake 3D globe. Of course, we see all the Hawaii activity. Nothing big to report, folks. I mean, we're just looking at some minor activity. All in all, just looking at this earthquake 3D globe over the last 24 hours shows below normal activity. I mean, I've been watching this thing for quite some time here, and we're just not seeing anything big. I mean, not even any deep earthquakes. Looks like 5.2 over around the Indonesia region, but other than that, nothing. So that's maybe possibly the calm before the storm, so to speak. But anyway, be prepared. We do have the live stream up here 24/7. So if you are watching the update video right now, come on over to the live stream and let's discuss some earthquake activity, volcanic activity, whatever you wish in regards to this beautiful planet that we live on. That is a live look at the Kilauea volcano summit area from the observatory deck there in Hawaii. That does update, I think, every 10 to 15 minutes or so. There is the Kilauea, Hawaii Webby quarter right above that. A lot of times we'll see kind of like an earthquake or an explosion type signature on that live data coming in there, which is a seismograph station that measures earthquakes and movement, explosions. We do see that pop up a lot, and then on the live stream we do see gas, ash, and clouds and whatnot coming out of the summit there. Very indicative of the activity that we just seen on the Webby quarter. Also, quite a few other stations there scrolling down below. Southern California, Chile, and Yellowstone in there as well. So anyway, folks, come on over to the live stream. I do want to welcome all the new subscribers and appreciate all the help from the mods out there. We did add a couple new moderators to the channel for increased help there with the ongoing viewer count and subscriber count. Just a large amount of subscribers over the past couple days there, and that's pretty awesome as the channel continues to grow and gets the truth out. This is a truth channel, so to speak, folks. I mean, it's we provide factual information, factual data. We do not try to fearmonger, and we will not fearmonger. There's not any room any time for any kind of fear mongering when it comes to serious stuff like this. People's lives are people's lives are dependent on factual information, and to fearmonger and scare people is not a good thing. In fact, I do not like that one bit. I despise a lot of channels that do that. But anyway, folks, appreciate your time. Appreciate your visiting the channel. If you do have any suggestions, any kind of comments, please do not hesitate to direct PM me. You can PM me on the YouTube channel, or you can also check out the Facebook page that I run at the Earthmaster. You just got to type that into the Facebook page search option there, and you can get a hold of me that way. Or, like I said, you can direct PM me on YouTube. If you don't want to do that, you can also get a hold of some of the moderators out here, and they'll pass the word along. If you have any questions, concerns, comments, anything like that, please feel free to get a hold of me, guys. All right, peace out. We will keep an eye on this. Like I say, it's pretty quiet. Earthquake activity appears to be below normal at the moment, so stay safe out there.